So, as you can see, this isn't my usual background. I'm actually at my own house now, in my bedroom, and this is going to be the background you're going to see the most. Hey guys, I'm Jack, welcome back to my channel, and this is my first storytime video. This one is about when I was 7 and I snapped my arm. So, as it started, I was out with my friend, I can't even remember who it was. It was Ginger, I know that, and we went just exploring. I wasn't actually allowed off my street, but I still went. I went down to a place called Park Bridge, which I was not allowed. I used to go out, I was a proper naughty child. I was always going out, disappearing from my house. My parents had to go out loads of times looking for me, so I went down Park Bridge. We just went climbing over walls and stuff and looking around, swimming in the water. And then on the way back, we found some houses which were abandoned on my old street. So I went walking up the stairs, and once I got up the stairs, there was 4 bedrooms. There was one on the left, which was the box room, one next to that, which was the big room, which your parents normally stay in, and then next to that, there was another room. I can't remember what room it was. I think it was like a play area for someone's child, and then next to that was the bathroom. So I went into the box room to see what I could find in there. There was an old bed, there was rust everywhere, and I came out, carried on walking, and there was an attic. So I went up into the attic. You know what attics are like, there's all insulation and stuff like that, and old crap that you don't actually need. I jumped down from the attic and the floor collapsed beneath me, so I fell through, and I fell like that because I was protecting my head. So I fell like that. And when I hit the bottom, the pain I was in was absolutely excruciating, and we had to get people to help me up. I was in that much pain. So they came, but I'd already got myself up. I'd already got into that pain of getting myself up. So I came out the house and I set off walking home, and my dad was driving in his car to come and find me because I wasn't actually meant to go off the street. And he found me, and I was crying my eyes out. My friend went off somewhere. My dad got me in the car, started shouting at me and driving. You know the roads have road humps to stop people speeding? My dad was going over them. Every time I went over one of them road humps, I was in agony. I'd said to him, stop going over them road humps fast because it hurts my arm, and he didn't believe me that I'd brought my arm. By the time I got home, my mum was shouting at me, and I told my mum my arm was hurting, so she wanted to look at it. So she tried lifting up my arm like that, and I started screaming. And she wouldn't believe that it was brought, just like my dad, and they carried on, and eventually my mum had to cut off my jumper and my arm was sagging. We went to the hospital. We were sat in A&E for about 7 to 8 hours, and when we went into a consultation, they sent me for an x-ray. So I went for an x-ray, and they found out that I had snapped my arm, I'd broken my collarbone, and I'd dislocated my shoulder. The bones are meant to be like that, and my bone was like that. So it snapped and gone down next to it. So I was meant to have an operation, but I was too young for the operation because it's quite a risky operation to have a metal plate put in your arm. And then it popped my shoulder back into place, which was absolutely, I cannot even describe the pain that I was in doing that. So I stayed in the hospital overnight, had my medicine, and I tell you what, that hospital was absolutely freezing cold. I pressed my little buzzer to ask for another blanket, or said that I'm cold, or said that I'm in pain. So they gave me another blanket, and no matter what, I was still freezing cold. And every time I pressed my buzzer, I think the nurses actually got sick of me. I'd ask for some medicine as well, because my arm was still hurting. Nothing would get rid of that pain. By the time the night ended, I had to go home. I wasn't allowed into school for about, I think it was 2 months, until my arm healed a bit. As it was my writing hand, I couldn't write with my writing hand because it was broken. About a week later, I was in bed and I turned over onto my arm. I didn't realise it until I woke up at about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I tried turning back and I screamed and screamed and screamed because it hurt that much. My dad and my sister came running into my room and they saw that I was turned on my arm. So my sister, Chelsea, was saying, shall we call a taxi to go to the hospital and stuff, and my dad said, just let's try turning him and all that. So they eventually turned me, which hurt so much. So once they turned me, which was absolutely excruciating, I went back to sleep. And the next day I had my tutor coming in, and I didn't like her at all. I really did not like her. She wouldn't let me go for a drink once I'd finished mine. She'd make me do all of my work, and I absolutely hated school at the time. I hated maths, I hated English, I hated science, I hated everything about it. And she knew that, that's why she wouldn't let me go for a drink. But I kind of appreciate it now that she made me sit there and do all my work. She had to write it for me. And I said to her, can I try writing? And she said, if you want. So I tried writing, and I couldn't write still. I tried doing it with my left hand, and my left hand isn't my dominant hand, so I couldn't write at all. So yeah, that's how it brought me on, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you like, comment and subscribe. Bye!